to Bess Mahaney Pilates YouTube channel. I hope everyone's well. I thought today I would do a short little workout for osteoporosis. So we'll do a little mat workout and focus on neutral spine and flat back, which is what is required for Pilates when you have osteoporosis. So you want to avoid rounding of the spine, flexion, twisting, and side bending. So that kind of leaves us with neutral spine and flat back. And I'll describe that as we go through the workout. So let's get started. We'll come right onto our back. All right. Make sure I'm in the camera. All right. All right, so as we've discussed in previous videos, neutral spine. So if you just relax on the mat, and you can make a little diamond shape here, bring that down to your abdomen here. And you want that shape to be as flat as possible. You don't want to be tilted this way or imprinted this way. Just allow your spine to relax. And you'll have a small little space under there, not much. All right? Now, bring your arms flat to the mat. We're going to start with bridging. So I'm going to pull my feet close to my belly. Make sure they're lined up with my sitting bones, so a little bit more narrow than hip width. And we're going to hinge up through the hips. So I'm just going to lift my hips. I'm not imprinting my spine or arching my back too much. I'm going to engage my belly and soften my rib cage and lower down again. So it's just a hinge, and I'm making sure my big toes are pressed into the mat. Hinge up. I'm taking in a breath at the top. Exhale. Good. Hinge up. Good. Inhale to prepare. Inhale. Good. Twice more. So it's almost as if someone's pulling right from these hip bones to lift you. Pulling up from the floor. All right. Now we're going to just do a little hip folding. You can do this standing also. So I'm going to bring my leg to tabletop, just like that, and back down. So we're going to warm up the low belly. Hip folds, warm up the low belly, the hips. Just breathe naturally. Your spine is still in neutral. I can try and use my camera as a mirror. Doesn't always work that well because it's kind of far away. We're going to do one more on each side. All right, now I'm going to bring my legs to tabletop. All right, so again, we're in neutral. Now, if you feel like there's too much pressure on your back, you can pull your knees a little bit more towards your belly, and your back will flatten out a little more. All right, then we're going to practice toe tap. So I'm going to bring one toe to the mat, lift my leg back to tabletop. Second side. Now, if this feels like it's too much on your spine, you can just go a little ways down, halfway. Relax the shoulders. I'm going to turn my palms up so my shoulders are externally rotated a bit. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to do one more here. All right, I'm going to pull my knees in, hug them in. Okay, so we're going to go through a little mat workout. So I'm going to bring this is my left foot, but you might have the opposite, and lengthen that leg up Now you might be in a position where you're bent a little bit. That's fine. We're going to just do some small leg circles. And I'm going to kind of hold on to my hips. Good. I'm going to go the opposite way. 6 in each direction. Of course you can have, excuse me, have these be bigger circles. But for today we're going to just make them small. I'm going to bring that foot down. And with my other leg, I'm going to cross the midline first. You want to make sure your hips are stable. I'm turned out a little bit on this side. Get my hips. Good, I've gone the other way. All right, now pull in those knees. Okay. Oh, look at my cheat sheet. All right, I'm in the right place. Okay, so we're going to do a little mat work here more. Pull this is my right knee. It can be your left, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to switch. Your head stays down because we don't want any flexion of the spine. Now, if you want to, you can have this leg a little higher. If you're new at this, you can modify this a little bit. All right, one more each side. Pull both knees in, so we're going to do double leg stretch next. So again, if you want to modify this, you can kind of lift the legs straight up, sweep the arms around, pull your knees back, or you can have the legs at a lower diagonal. Up to you, just be careful of that low back. The higher diagonal the legs go, the less stress on your back. I'm still breathing. 2 more. Hug those knees in. Give my ankles a little stretch here. All right, we're going to go into single leg, straight leg. So both legs involved here, pulling back this way and pulse, pulse. Again, this might be challenging if you have tight hamstrings. Just looking at my cheat sheet. You don't want to lift your head actually when you're doing this. Good, 1 more on each side. Pull the knees in. All right, so instead of rolling up, which would cause flexion, we're going to just roll to our side and get up that way, which is the way you should get up, especially if you're getting out of bed. All right, let's go to a little swan on the belly. So this is the one way you can move your spine that's okay if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis. So that is extension of the spine. So anytime you're kind of arching your spine that way, that's totally fine. So let's start with some swans. I'm going to put my hands wider than the mat, all right? And my nose down, and my legs are not quite the width of the mat, but I would say hip width distance. Okay, my nose is down. And I'm going to anchor my pubic bone into the mat, slide my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm just going to press up so my chest and head lift in one unit. Slide my shoulders down the back and kind of resist my hands and elbows back towards the back of my mat, and lower myself down. And again. So I like to exhale as I lift, but really you're supposed to be inhaling when you do extension. Inhale, lift up into extension, exhale. But I kind of am in a habit of doing it the other way. As long as you're breathing, it's all good. Good. I'm going to do 2 more. And we're going to add on a little bit. Again, resisting my hands back, anchoring my pubic bone. Sliding my shoulders down the back, opening my collarbone wide. Good, one more. Alright, so from there, let's bring our arms at our sides and continue lifting and lifting the arms and reaching my hands back. And lower down. We're only going to do about 3 more of these. Rock it. Good. One more. All right. And again, we can't really bend our spine, so let's just come up onto all fours. All right? I was going to have you do a child's pose, but that's more of flexion of the spine. All right, we're going to do a little opposite arm, opposite leg, which is totally legal for people with osteoporosis. So I'm going to lengthen my left leg out or right, whichever you prefer. Lift the right arm. Lift the left leg. Keeping both my hips facing downward. All right, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Stand up tall in the arm that's supporting you. Come back to the start. All right, right leg lengthens out. Lift the left arm. Now you can leave your right foot down if that feels more appropriate. This is how you get started with learning how to do opposite arm, opposite leg. Back to the start, 1 more on each side. Reach the left leg out, right arm. Stand tall in the arm that's supporting you. Nose is pointing down, belly's pulling up. 1 more. Stand tall. See, I'm starting to droop a little bit. I got to stand up in that arm. Okay. Now let's just come to a little side lying. Everybody likes hip work. Nothing too crazy. All right. So you're going to lie down, line your spine up with your mat. Okay, and then if you want to bring your feet forward a little, use this hand as a kickstand. And then just lift that leg, okay, and lower. So your hips are stacked. So I have one hip on top of the other. Right, and you want to make sure you stay stacked. I should be looking this way, but I'm looking into the camera. So, you should be looking this way so I'm in alignment. Good. Keep those hips stacked. I'm keeping myself stacked here. 1 more. And just a few circles. Few circles. They don't have to be big. 1 more. A lot of times when people get osteoporosis, they get it in their hips, spine, wrists. So we have to strengthen and mobilize these areas. Good, 1 more. And then we'll just kick forward a little and back. Side kick. Good. 1 more. And you have to keep smiling. All right, pushing yourself up. We'll do the other side. All right, again, you're going to line up with the back of your mat. Okay, I'm going to bring my legs just a tad forward of my pelvis. Make sure I'm looking into the, now I can look straight ahead. Lift that leg, make sure your hips are stacked. So 1 hip on top of the other. And you want to make your range of motion work for you, meaning if you lift your leg leg too high and your hips are rolling back. You want to try to avoid that. Good. Engage the belly. All right, circles. Not too big. Keep breathing. Good, one more. I'm not good at counting as I'm talking, so we might be uneven. Good, one more. All right, I'm going to keep that leg hip height. Kick it forward and back. So as I kick it forward, it's flexed, my foot is flexed, point my foot as my leg moves back. Good, two more. All right, push yourself up. Okay, I think that's a good start. So that was more like a beginner level. I will put a more intermediate mat workout for osteoporosis, but if you did this every day, it's about 10 minutes, you should be good to go. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and give me the thumbs up or a comment. I appreciate it. I will see you all soon.